Welcome to the Every Day is a New Day podcast and live show, the inspirational show about moving forward and choosing to be more of you, transmuting the self-doubt and stepping into courageously aligned confidence in who you uniquely are. My name is Kim O'Neill. I'm a twice certified transformational confidence coach, Reiki master, best-selling author, and former crime analyst who now helps empathic, heart-centered individuals shatter the noise of self-doubt, find clarity on what self-love really looks like, and the courage to be peacefully grounded in who you've always known you are, from the inside out. Join me for the live shows on Facebook and YouTube, and visit KimO'NeillCoaching.com for more info. Let's get to it. All right, welcome everybody. And I'm going to bring up today's guest to join me on screen as well. Welcome to the Every Day is a New Day show, and welcome Linda.
Hi Kim, how are you?
Thank
you so much for having me on.
Absolutely. Well, I love this because you're actually joining me from Australia.
Yes. From Sydney, all the way from down under, the place where the koalas are always eating and sleeping. The happiest place to be. And I love that because, you know, my quote, right? My quote is, happiness is another form of wealth. It's the most treasured form of wealth. And so I love it. Well, and I love the koala hugs too.
Oh, wow. Well, I love when we first met, you said, hello from the future.
Yes. I love saying that to the friends in US and some friends in Europe as well. So I do live in your future.
That's awesome. So, it's a Wednesday evening over here and Thursday morning over there. So
exactly. It's Thursday here at 11:15. I apologize, I'm a few minutes late because I just received the most exciting call for the month, for the year. At the time that I was supposed to be on, I received a call that I'm the finalist for the Local Business Award.
Congratulations!
Thank you. Well, you know, it just means that it will help me to be able to help a lot more people.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, for people who read my book, for people who know me, would know that I didn't study for the piece of paper. I didn't go into business for money. It's all for the meaning. And so I didn't participate in the award just for winning, but it will allow me to help a lot more people. That's what it is. That's what I'm excited about.
Well, that is fantastic. I want to go ahead and share with everyone a little bit more about you by reading some of your bio, and then definitely talk to you firsthand and hear more about you. As you can tell, Linda is very upbeat and inspiring, and so I'm
always excited.
You are always excited. I agree. Okay, so I'm going to share a little bit about Linda. Linda Tomai Duong is an international speaker, a parenting and self-leadership coach, and the #1 international bestselling author of Connection, the Currency to Happiness. Linda's work is all about self-empowerment with a focus on positive psychology and helping others to live a happier and more fulfilled life. She has an inspiring story of overcoming adversity and now helps a wide range of clients from ages 5 to 70. And as an extension of her book, Linda started the Three Hearts Organization, a nonprofit with the vision and mission for a more connected society that now has a worldwide team of ambassadors. And during the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic, Linda also started the Connection Show, where she has her readers come on and they share how her book has impacted them as well. And she also was recently inducted into the Bestselling Authors International Organization. And that is Linda in just a small nutshell. So Linda, that's fascinating.
Thank you for having me on. It's so exciting to finally be with you on air.
Linda, will you first, okay, I'm going to say hello to our live audience because we have a lot of people here with us. So hello to Helene and Paula and Sherry. And I see all your awesome comments here. So hello to all of you with us. Let us know if you have comments while we are live, or what ahas you're taking away, or how Linda has possibly inspired you already, and your experiences with her. So Linda, I want to first get into it. here you are, this bubbly, happy, inspiring, excitable person, and you actually didn't have that same kind of childhood. Will you share with us where how did you get from there to here?
Yeah. It's quite a journey. So I was born in Vietnam at the end of the Vietnam War. So I'm going to need to teleport you back in time. I live in your future. Now I'm going to take you back to the past.
Love it.
So at the time, if you could just imagine, everything was very basic, very minimal. So it was the end of the Vietnam War. All I've seen was black and white TV, black and white photos. I never even have color pencils. I never even know what a computer looked like. I never even seen a map or a globe model. It was just really basic.
Wow.
And so, if you could imagine growing up hearing the news about war, people are in pain and anxiety. So it made me a very anxious child, naturally, if you grow up in that environment. So I was extremely anxious, very shy, nothing like this, barely speak. I've never even been on a bus. I can't even travel anywhere because I had motion sickness.
Wow.
So if you just imagine a very tiny, thin, skinny girl, very anxious, very shy, barely speak, that was me. And never know anything about the world. Kids these days, as old as, I don't know, few months old, a couple of years old, you start using the phone, the iPad already, right? And if you want to know, I don't know, if you want to know what Mongolia is like, what Norway is like, you just look up YouTube, right? You can see the scenery, you can see the people, you can see the food, you can hear the language. So you literally can be with the world in your fingertips, whereas I had nothing. And so very minimal education, minimal resources, everything is very minimal, but not the love. I had abundance of love from my parents.
Aww.
And that was the huge difference. So when I came to Australia, suddenly at the age of 15, I was teleported here without a word of English, never seen anything of the outside world. So it was a complete shock. So if you can imagine yourself now, suddenly teleported to China, Mongolia, wherever, but it's a complete different world, right? Mm-hmm. And instead of colorful, it would be black and white. It would be the opposite to me, right? If I could articulate it that way. So it was cultural shock, everything shock, the whole system shock. That was me. So then I could not even get on a bus because of motion sickness. So I would choose to walk to school, whether rain, hail, 40 degrees, whatever heat. I would walk over an hour to school because I just cannot get on the bus. And I remember one day I got to school soaking wet from head to toe, soaking wet because the wind was blowing the umbrella and the umbrella didn't help and the umbrella got ruined. So that was me. And
so what was the turning point of how you started to become this positive, upbeat, very lively, connection-oriented person?
I would love to be able to tell you one thing, but we all know, right? We all know that, nothing comes overnight, right? You plant a seed, you got to wait for it to sprout. You got to nurture it, you got to have the right environment for it to keep growing, right? Otherwise it could well die. So that was my journey. After I came to Australia, I was able to slowly redevelop myself, newborn, I guess you could say it that way, but not exactly, not entirely, because I had the original root of the Eastern value.
Okay.
That was what held me grounded. So in my book, I've got the book here. So in the book, I share the Eastern value with the Western teaching, and that was what helped me together to grow and flourish.
Okay.
And so
for anybody who's not actually familiar with what Eastern value represents, will you just sum that up? What is Eastern value?
So basically, a lot of the character building, the resilience, turning inwards, rather than expecting the outside recognition, Whereas I can't even speak English. There's no way I could get an A plus in school. I could
Wow.
not even speak. So how do you thrive then? How do you go on when you can't even speak the language? So those are the moments when, self-love, self-respect, resilience, grit, all of those character strength is what helped me keep persisting, keep trying, keep going, keep moving forward. So that's what I mean by Eastern value. I guess it applies to everywhere, but I guess what I'm trying to say was that that's what I brought with me.
Got it.
That was what was instilled in me, because in my environment, we did not have the external resources. We did not have the computer. I did not have the fancy private college education. I did not have fancy dress, fancy clothes. In fact, that was what inspired me to be a fashion designer because I didn't have that. So I didn't have all of these external resources to say, here you go, just do it, you're good. I didn't have any of those to help me. So all I had was turning inward to say, where do I go? How do I do it? What must I do? And it's the constant support of my parents, even though at the time they couldn't do a lot, because they're already in their retirement age and they are in more shock than I am, right? Because, when you're younger, you can adapt better, but they were already in the retirement age. There's a big age gap between myself and my parents. And so when I say the Eastern value, what it meant was that when I was growing up, that was already instilled in me. So when I came, even though they could not really so-called physically, I mean, they were with me, but they couldn't do a lot because they had to deal with the issues as well, you see.
Understood.
But they were
Yes.
still there and we were together. But it was the back olden days, all of the teaching, all of those, value that had instilled in me, that had helped me to stay grounded, to say, it's okay, I've got this. I would just have to keep trying, that resilience, the grit that built in me, yeah.
So something I've noticed is you're really good at manifesting, and the story you just shared with us, it paints this picture of someone who came from almost nothing, and it, may just have been a sign of the times and what was going on, of course, war and all of that, but didn't have much of anything. And here today you are, to me, you reflect abundance, and you help other people with that as well. And so where did the color start to come into that black and white picture?
So literally the color come when I came here, but more so in my life. It's it's a journey, but the journey literally started at the age of 15, right?
Right.
So when did it come in? When you say the color, do you mean my achievement? Do you mean like I achieved my dreams, or what do you?
So I know that's a really key, fascinating piece of Linda. When I first met her, she said, "I've achieved all my dreams," and I was like, "What?" That's a very rare statement. You don't hear many people saying that. So yes, let's start at that place.
Well, so at the age of 5, as you could imagine, back then we don't have fancy things. I don't even know what a fancy dress looks like in the Western world. But being a girl is very natural. You want to have a dress, because all I had was hand-me-downs, because I'm the second last of the 10 kids, right? So I want to have a dress, simple. And with that, I planted a seed in my mind that when I grow up, I want to make beautiful dresses. And what does it mean? It really means that I want to be a dress designer.
Okay.
But I didn't have those terms at the time, right? But I planted that seed. So after I studied high school, I studied fashion design, and eventually I opened a bridal boutique. And my design did appear in wedding magazines, and I did win awards. One dream achieved. Then at the age of 7, my sister, who came to Sydney as a refugee, you probably know this story, people who come on the boat. So I'm lucky, I came as an immigrant. She said, "You're so lucky. I have to endure the hardship for you to come on the plane." So that was the first time I seen color photos when she sent a photo back home. And it was the first time I seen someone with blonde hair and blue eyes. And I'm like, what is this? And so another seed has planted in my head that I want to see the world. So eventually, when I was 21, that's like 7 years later, 6 years later, after school. So I started traveling the world. I work as a travel consultant. I've been to Alaska 22 years ago nearly. So 2 dreams done.
So
And
it sounds like, Linda, you see something you want, you
Oh,
say.
you asked the question. Sorry, how do I
That's
do
okay.
that? How do I do that? It's with a lot of passion, with very clear desires, as you can see. I know what I want. I planted that seed and I nurture that passion. So I don't give up my dream, right? A lot of people say, I want that, but it's too hard, but this, but that, right? And then that dream slowly fade away. So whereas for me, I was clear on what I want. I planted the seed, I nurture it, I kept the passion, and I work at it until it comes. It wasn't a matter of overnight. As you can
Yeah.
tell, it's over years, right? Nothing comes
Right.
overnight. But
Well,
regardless,
and what
it
go ahead. Go ahead.
no, you go.
Well, what I notice is there, for a lot of people, they can say, I want this, and yet so here they are, they want this thing over here, and there's something in the middle that stops them. And
Yes.
I'm not hearing any of that with you. Is that you're here and you're going, oh, I want that. Okay, there we go. And then she's there.
The energy is like that, and that's how I have achieved them all. The spirit, the energy, that trust, that faith that I have in me and in the universe. So it was being a wedding dress designer, travel the world, being a teacher, and I still teach now. Like I taught in preschool setting, and I go to school, and I still teach now with my book, with coaching, with talking now. So that's 3 early childhood dreams. And after I came to Australia, it was the first time I was in an art gallery. I was like, wow, I didn't even have color pencils. So in 2015, I studied arts. I participated in exhibitions. My award won prizes in 2016. My self-portrait was finalist for Women's Art Prize, and then the book. So to answer your question, from here to there, it was enormous amount of belief. Enormous amount of belief. It's like I was saying to my children, we thought that when you're little, we teach children to have self-belief. But interestingly, through my journey, now that I coaches as well, I help, change makers, writers, particularly writers, very fascinating. The interesting thing is that the more we achieve, the more we need to believe. Very interesting. You know how the imposter syndrome, right?
Yes.
It is that. Is that one thing that we're starting to doubt ourselves? Have I really achieved this? Did I really do this? So it's the enormous amount of belief, not only just in yourself, in the universe, but in the goodness of the world. And that is what give me this so-called smooth energy, if I could describe it that way, because otherwise there's a lot of interruptions, right?
Yes.
There's a lot of interruptions that, why should you do this? Is it good? Yeah.
I want to ask you about that. So do you ever experience doubt? And if you do, then what do you do to get rid of that and replace it with more belief?
If I don't experience it, I'm not human.
Okay. Isn't that good to know, right? Okay, so what do you do when that happens?
And this is what I mean by enormous amount of belief in the goodness of the world, not just yourself. Believing in yourself sometimes is not enough. Say, for example, I form 3 hearts now, right? If I just keep saying, oh, I know I can do it, I don't think that's enough. It's believing the universe has the support that I need. The universe will guide me, if I could put it that way. If you believe in God, in Jesus, whoever, right? But I say universe. Not only that, I also need to believe the goodness in the world. I also need to believe that there are millions of people with kind hearts, like you, like Paula, like Cara, in our community. There is so many goodness in the world. That's what I truly believe. If I don't believe that, there's no dream can come true. If you go about life thinking that, life is hard, nothing is possible, people are bad and it's all negative. Do you think you can achieve anything? I don't think so. It's really hard. But it's an enormous amount of belief in the goodness in the world. I truly believe that. And that's what I was raised up with. And I love it how you use the word abundance to begin the show. And that's what my parents did. That's what my parents, if there's anything I could say, the two things they instill in me is the abundance mindset. No matter how little we were, there was days that we didn't have enough food, but there was not a moment I thought that we were poor. Not 1 second in my life. We always live in abundance mindset, if I could call it that way. But it wasn't just a mindset. It's really from the heart and soul. It was really from the heart and soul that we have everything we need here and now. That was what I live with. And the second thing they have instilled in me is the freedom, the spirit of freedom in your mind. Because with the freedom in your mind, you could go anywhere in the world. Even though I was so grounded in home, I can't even get on the bus, I could not go anywhere. But that spirit in me, I travel in my mind, even though I have no image of outside how it's like. But it's that freeness in you that allows you to tap into your inner world so powerfully that even though I was really shy, I still could connect with people. I still love talking to people when I had the opportunity. And it's that freeness in me that allowed me now to reach to people around the world so freely, sharing the love.
Well, so I want to talk about your book. I have not read your book, but I've read about your book, and I know that you talk about the key to helping children live their dreams is by helping parents fulfill their dreams or connect to that in some way more. So will you talk about that, how those connect and how you help people with
naturally, as parents, we are role models, right? If we live a life saying that it's impossible to achieve your dreams, what message are we going to give to our kids? So my passion now is to share with as many parents as possible. Dreams are to live. You can live all your dreams, and not just one, but as many as you like. And it's not just them. Now they pass to their children, then their children pass to their children. It's actually the ripple effect of generations to come. And that's why I was passionate about parenting coaching. Because whatever we do as guardians, even if they're not your own biological children, but the fact that you are an adult, you're role modeling everywhere you go, everywhere, right? Whatever message, whatever role model we set, we have enormous power of effect for generations to come. For generations to come, because one child get one good message from you. That's enough for him to reestablish his own life, even though he might have a bad beginning. And that person is going to grow up, not even later, even immediately, he or her, him, her, can immediately go on, pass on the goodness to the friends. So never, never underestimate the power in you. That is my biggest message. Never underestimate the power in you. Whatever you do, wherever you go, doesn't matter how shy you are. I was so shy. Right? Really, every single thing we do, every word we say, every single smile we make or frown that we make has impacts to everyone around us, and more so to children. More so to children.
I'm going to put the title of the book up here. So Connection, the Currency to Happiness, and access your happiness right here, right now. So I want to ask you, knowing that connection is the currency to getting more happiness, how do people get the connection?
We're going to need a master class, but I'm going to try and do it very quickly. How? Smile. That will be the quickest thing. If I have to say one word, smile. But I don't mean a fake smile. I mean sincerely from the heart inside out. How? What is it that allow us, two people, to talk with each other? Is the wish to be with somebody else. Is that relation, that connection, it's also to be able to share with each other the joy, the happiness, the sorrow sometimes, So ask the question again, because I want to be able to answer it properly.
Yeah, no, just trying to define even more so that starting point. So knowing that connection is really what helps people to feel happier. How do they get more connection? Where in their life does it benefit them most to connect to? I just wanting to define that piece. I mean, I can come up with my own things, but I want to know, like, what do you see? Where does the connection originate for most people?
Where? From your heart. From inside out. But if you say where as in physically, right, it would be friends, family, at work, everywhere, Kim. Everywhere, like you and I now.
So person to
Now with
person,
the
human
audience.
connection.
Exactly. That's what we're human, right? As human, even animal, right? We're animal, but we're higher order. But all animals need connection. It's the natural order. It's the natural thing of life. What makes us human, animal, is we need connection, right? We're social beings, including animals. And so in my book, I share the 5 foundation: family, friends, finance, fitness, and fidelity. Now, fidelity has a very special chapter on its own. But really, you can connect wherever you go, even with someone you don't know. So in the book, I also share a section on family. And when I say you can even connect with strangers, truly, if you have genuine intent, if you have good intention and kind heart intentions, you literally can connect with anybody, Kim. That's how I lived. Otherwise, I can't, right? I come here with no friends. I can't speak the language. I literally have to communicate with body languages, even though as shy as I was. And if I have to come down to it, it's the connection. Sometimes I might be so shy that I don't even know what to do. Just the eye contact. Do you realize how little eye contact we have these days?
Yes. So many people looking down at their phones. Yep. Not reaching out, not being in person. And of course, right now.
And so I'll just invite you to imagine this little girl. Well, wasn't that little anymore. I was 15 by then, but really skinny, like 35 kilo. I weigh like 35, 38 kilo, really skinny, very petite, can't speak the language. I was so shy that I don't even have this. This is a lot of body language today. I didn't have any of these. It would be like this. It would be like always clasp hands together, always like this, and so shy. And all I did was just literally. And I remember in the classroom, right, the teacher was speaking English, and that she's got this really mesmerizing blue eyes that changes to green, that changes to gray. You know how some people have multiple eye colors? So I was like this. I was like literally following her wherever she goes. And I did not know, right? I did not know I was admiring her. But then for her, it's probably rude because I'm staring at her, but I did not mean to do that, right? But literally, that's how I connect. Literally from heart to heart. It's where it begins. Anything else from outside, anything that is pretentious won't work. Anything that comes with a motive won't work. But if it's all genuine and authentic, you can connect with anybody. And in my book, I share some case studies, so-called some real life stories that those people, including myself, constantly doing it. We literally create families outside of our family from so-called strangers. Because not all of us are blessed with beautiful, perfect biological families. Not all of us have. And really, it's the human connections that even allow us to build a family, beautiful family. There's many stories in the book.
Yeah.
And when it was that part, I was like typing in tears.
Oh, well, so I imagine that in working with parents and helping them to connect more, I imagine that you're helping parents grow their social circle and start to reconnect into a world that takes them probably beyond just their work and helps them have connection with more friends, their family, And it's just kind of all of that combined that starts to get that wheel turning of them feeling more fulfilled, that then helps their children feel more fulfilled.
Absolutely. All of that, but more so, very fundamentally and most importantly, it's connect with ourselves. When we connect with ourselves, everything else happens. But if you would depend on connecting with other people, the impact, the happiness, the depth of it is not the same. Because what happens when everyone's not available?
So the first step is
Everyone's busy.
connecting with themselves.
Yes. But at the same time, if you're having trouble with that, then of course, the friends and the family helps for you to come back to you. But never underestimate the self. Yourself is the most empowering place to start.
Completely agree. I love it. Let's take a quick moment. I just want to look at the comments. There have been a lot of things flowing through here, and I'm like, wait, so much here. We have, of course, Paula has said hello, and we have Sherry said hello. Nice to see you, Linda. And Helene is congratulating you on your new, you became a finalist in your local. Is that to be a win an award as a coach?
It's a local business award, like recognizing the local business performance. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Paula. Thank you, Helene.
And Helene here, let's see here. Helene wrote, "Look how far you have come, Linda Dong, and how you are impacting yourself and the world. Thank you, Linda, for being you these days. We appreciate you. Sincerely,
thank
Helene."
Thank you, Helene. I appreciate you too. Thank you so much for sharing that.
That was beautiful. Well, Linda, I also want to share, you've also started this nonprofit, and I'm going to put another picture on the screen here with the Three Hearts logo. And will you share with everyone a little bit more about Three Hearts and how that connects to everything that you're doing today?
Yeah, so Three Hearts is the extension of my book. So the underlining message of my book is heart number one is three hearts. You see me three hearts everywhere. I sign three hearts all the time on Facebook. So heart number one is love and connection for ourselves. And heart number two is love and connection with each other. And heart number three is love and connection with the universe. We're part of the one, we're part of the whole. That's my message. And so Three Hearts holds the space for everyone to get together to be ourselves, really. You know how you have many networking places for business. You have many groups and clubs, but there's always for something. So I want to create this just for you, for us, to be who we are. So we just get together, we play games, but the games are all psychologically beneficial and it's really fun. Say, for example, I'm going to play one with you right now, if you like to.
Sure. I love it.
And everybody can join in and play too. Please pick a vegetable that represents you and share with us why.
Oh, a vegetable. I thought of a fruit. Okay, a vegetable. A vegetable that represents me. I got a raspberry. Can I use a fruit?
Yes, you can use a fruit too. I'll let you have it this time.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Raspberry. I just feel like they're. Oh God, I've never done this before, so this is off the cuff. Okay, let's see. I'm like a raspberry, and I think it's because they're like tart and sweet and tangy. So they're kind of like, they're a little exciting. They're a little energizing. They're like, to me, they would represent a fun fruit. And I think I have a lot of that in me.
Exactly right. Now, so when is there a day and time that you will think of yourself that way, right? So what we do is we create a time, a space and time for fun, not only for fun, but really we think when we come to the meeting, we think we go there to make friends and connect with each other, which you do. It's amazing. Older people love connecting with people around the world, but when you go away, realizing or not realizing, you're literally connecting with yourself. Now you get a moment to think, what am I like? Because we move through life, we evolve, we change. And so some days we don't even know what I'm like anymore, right? What fruit do you like? What color do you like? You know how when you're kids in kindy, right? Yeah, everybody likes a lachita. What's your favorite color? What do you like? We miss all of that. We lose all of that. But more so, it's a moment to just get in touch with ourselves. When we say making me time, it's so hard to make me time these days, right? Because we have so many things to do. Or when to the weekend comes, you get too busy, you get a second job, a third job, being a mom, chauffeur the kids everywhere, right? And then you go, okay, wait until I'll book a holiday. That's the bigger me time, right? And so you save, you plan. By the time you save and plan, more stress, more me time's needed. And then, when you're finally traveling, you still have more stress. It's not, holiday isn't all carefree. Holiday still could be stress. And now COVID-19 happens. We can't even travel anymore. Where's me time? So this fun meeting is really beneficial. It's really, really good. Paula says she's a carrot. I love it, Paula. Thank you for sharing. So it's really good me time. It's psychologically beneficial and it's healing. It's healing because we get to share with each other the highlights, the lowlights, the challenges, which we don't get to share. Everybody goes about life so lonely these days, so alone, because we're so busy. We're so busy. And then this is a place where we remind each other. It's almost like, buddy system, accountable system, like come and join us. We all go about busy, right? And so we all becoming more isolated. And so the whole vision and mission of Three Hearts is to create a more connected society. Can you imagine 1,000,000 people become all more connected, feeling more joy and happiness from the inside out? Because with the current situation, it illustrates the point loud and clear, isn't it? It doesn't matter if you're millionaire, billionaire, famous, with celebrity, royalty, this still gets to you. We all are in this together. We all are the same. We all are human. We all need connection. And so we all need happiness. And so really happiness is another form of wealth. It's your most treasured form of wealth. So that is a quick, brief overview of Three Hearts. But we also believe, the ambassador and myself and the people who attended the meeting, we all believe that with Three Hearts, if we continue for years to come with all the people around the world, we really do have the power to change the trajectory of mental health. Because everyone attend to themselves regularly, to keep ourselves up so that we don't fall into the pattern of say, I'm now too tired, I'm overwhelmed, I got burnt out. And then you start to reclude yourself and then everything else start to go downward. And so, yeah.
And the Three Hearts meetings are meetings that anyone can attend and they're free. Is that correct?
Yes. We are, that's why it's called a non-profit, because the meeting is for free. I mean, until I can't do it anymore. But at this point in time, it still is for free. And if you like what we're sharing, read the book, come join us. We have a Facebook group. It's called Three Hearts Connections Global. And what's been proven with the attendees is that if you read the book, you will appreciate the meeting more. And if you attended the meeting, you will appreciate the book more because, of course, they go hand in hand. So, and if you read the book, get in touch because I love to have you on the show as well, the Connection Show. So we have places for everybody to connect. So the vision is we will connect at least 1,000,000 people around the world. But guess what happened? Guess what happened when a whole 1,000,000 people is happier and more connected? Guess what will happen? We will have at least 10 more million people be happier. Because when you're happy, Kim, your happiness doesn't stay, does it?
Right, it
your
ripples.
Family, yes, your partner, your children, if you're married, if you have kids, your friends, your colleague, your business, your client. Because when you're happy, you serve happier. And the happiness gets passed on. So I was once challenged, right? When I say that my goal is to help 1,000,000 people, I was challenged. But hold on, there's 7 billion people around the world. And so I said, in my mind, I'm thinking, let me walk first and then I'll run. we all like to aim for big, right? I like to aim for the baby step first, because I also truly believe that when 1 million people is happier, it would be at least 10 million easily. Because I have a coach, I have an international artist who read the book, right? Excuse me. She was going through, we all go through challenges. I do too, right? And then she read the book. She become happier. She's transitioning now to be a trauma coach.
Nice.
And she's been speaking to people, and so now she can go help hundreds of other people. And that's just one case. So I truly know when we help 1 million people, it will be at least 10 million.
Linda, is there anything you do to be checking in with yourself on a daily basis and make sure you're in that space of feeling happy, feeling joyful?
Excuse me. It's winter here. I do get a tickle throat in winter. I do it all the time. Because, we are human, and human has a very complex range of emotions. Someone can say something and lift you up so high. Someone else can come say something and you go down low, right? So as humans, we have a whole range of emotions, and it fluctuates like a whole roller coaster every day, all moments of life, right? So I have a very good habit by now that I do this flipping thing. I'm smiling because I love this game that I share. Okay, I'll share with everybody, right? So we're ready? Play with me, okay? Let's say you have a thought that come in. Someone say something, or you remember something, and I didn't do that. That was silly of me, and that was crazy. And then before you know it, this negative dialogue start happening, right? That was silly of me, that was crazy of me, whatever. What you do this with me, because if you do it, you can remember it better, right? Catch. So I call it catch, park, and flip. So you catch the thought. When you start hearing the negative dialogue, you catch it. Okay, I hear you. I know. So you acknowledge it. You catch it to acknowledge. So it's the awareness. Awareness is powerful. So you catch a thought, you catch a dialogue, and you park it.
Love it.
Why? We park it because as human, we have attachment, we have emotions. When something is upsetting, it has weight on you. And so therefore you can't just detach. When I tell you, don't worry, I can't not worry, like how could she say that? How could he say that? I can't not worry, because there's attachment as emotions. As humans, we have emotions, attachment. So you park it. And I invite you to imagine like at the car park, when you go to a shopping mall, there's a car park. By parking it and imagining like a car, it still allows you to have that attachment, but detach from emotions, right? You can go back to your car. It's still there for you. So therefore, you can revisit the story later. I'm not telling you to ignore it. I'm not telling you to forget it. I'm not telling you to deny it, because denial is not good either. But let's park it for now. Let's park it. By parking it, you're able to be in the present moment, remembering what you do, your purpose of being here. Then you can flip. Then now I can flip from that resentment, angry, whatever, frustration mode back into the calmness, or back into the joyful moment, back into my positive mode. So that's why we catch, park, and flip.
I love that you're adding the physical motion to that, because that can really help a person to feel like they're doing something, like it's actually being flipped, and it's not just here. Yeah.
And it anchors all those emotions. It anchors that memory as well. And so by actually flipping, you're literally reminding yourself, hey, smile. It's okay. Restart. So I'm constantly restarting my mood. I'm constantly restarting my thinking. I'm constantly restarting my empowerment in my present moment. And so I tell my children, I don't have bad days, because I started all the time. I start my day. Oh, didn't go well. Okay, let's start again. So I don't have bad days as such. If I could say this is the most powerful tips for everybody every day. I don't have bad days. I will keep restarting it. Didn't go well. Okay, it's all right. Let's restart again.
Nice.
And so that's how I'm able to continuously have a refreshed energy to go. to step into my full power presence to do what I need to do for this task and now. Not anything else, but here and now. So just be here and now all the time, all the time.
So, Linda, we're nearing the end of our conversation, but I want to ask you a question that links to another show that I've been doing. Started it back in July, and we're going to go through the end of December. Is Rise and Shine, creating 2020 vision, and we're talking about 4 key elements that support a person in manifesting their own vision, what it is that they would like to experience. And we've been talking lately about having a vision. So I know you mentioned earlier, when you were a kid, you saw a dress you liked and you said, I want to be a fashion designer. And then you went to school. And so what does having a vision mean for you? What is that process like for you? Is it just simply seeing something you want to experience and then you take action on it? Or do you tend to get a picture of it in your mind and start to formulate it and then build from there?
So to answer the question is yes and no to all of those, right? Now, remember, I came from a very primitive world. So therefore, I don't have all the visions. I did not know what a so-called Western dress looked like, a beautiful dress looked like, right? I didn't have that vision to say, okay, I'm going to imagine that, because I know these days a lot of people say visionate, right? It still is. But I think now I vision it easier, clearer, because I now have more access to that visual image, right?
Because you've seen more examples of
Exactly. Whereas back then I couldn't. So for me, I would sum it up with these 5 words. Okay, letters. IPPPI.
IPPPI. Oh, okay.
So I represent myself.
Uh-huh.
I need to know who I am. I need to know my values. And then if I know who I am, at least, because if you don't know who you are, you don't know your value, you would not know what you want as a dream. True?
Mm-hmm.
If you are so-called lost, I don't even know what I want, how can you know what you want? And you would not know what your dream is. So if you know yourself, meaning have more in tune with yourself, if you truly know what gives you joy, what makes you happy, then at least you will know what you want as a dream, truthfully. Not just a dream, oh, I want that because someone else also have it. Do you know what I mean? Like you need to know what your true dream is. What I'm trying to say is that you need to really know that dream, and that dream has to have meaning to you. So that's why it's the I. You need to know the I. You need to know you. Then you know your dream. Because otherwise, you think you know your dream, but it's actually someone else's dream.
And what
My
do the
teacher
other
told me I
letters
should do that.
stand
My
for?
parents told me to do that. Someone else said it's good, so maybe I should go for that as well. So the I is not about you. The second one is pure. It's got to be pure. That means it's purely from your wish, your dream, not from anybody else. I did not want to be a fashion designer because I want to be famous. I did not want to be a teacher just so that I can be a teacher to have that authority. I truly want to be a teacher because I want to help someone to learn. In fact, I did not even say to myself, I want to be a teacher. I said I want to help someone else to learn, because that's the role of a teacher. So it's got to be pure. The intention has to be pure for the dream. Then, of course, positivity. If you're not positive, it's just impossible to happen, right? If you're not positive, you go, yeah, I want to be a teacher, but I don't think it can happen.
Right.
Right? Simple.
Yep.
Then the next thing is passion. It's passion. Passion for the passion itself. Again, go back to the purity, right? Go back to the pure wish. Why do you want to be a teacher? And if you truly know why, that passion is just there. You don't even have to do anything. It's just there, right? So when you have good intention, it's pure and positive, it's just there all the time. It's like, I want to create 3 hearts. I don't know, I just want to have more connected society. How else can I say it? So it wasn't like I want to create because I want to be something else. It wasn't like I want to do it because I want to earn more money, because whatever, right? I literally just feel the joy. I just feel the joy that I just hear so much pain in a society that we're all very disconnected. And wouldn't it be nice if we are all more connected? That's it. Simple. right? When people say, oh, what's your vision, mission? It sounds so big. It doesn't have to be. Just the pure intention. And when you have that pure intention, the passion comes. So pure, positive passion and intentions, good intentions. You have pure intentions. It all just comes. It all just unfolds for you. So don't think too complicated. Don't go about find your purpose, find your passion. It's all too much. When you read my book, right? In my book, I share that whatever you do, whatever we all do, we all serve a purpose. We all do. So in my book, I share that I value the garbage cleaner as much as I value an army officer, a firefighter, all of those. Why? We all serve a purpose. Without any one of us, the world doesn't function.
Completely.
Can you imagine? Without the garbage cleaner, even doctors cannot survive if you have the whole environment dirty. So for everybody who is listening, if you're having on a journey of looking for your purpose, stop looking, just leave it. Just do what you do with good intentions, with positivity, with passion. You are already serving the whole world and yourself. So
Linda, thank you so much for sharing everything you have today. Where can people go to connect with you further or to learn about Three Hearts or get your book?
So you can go to my website, Linda Duong, DUONG.com.au. You can get a free introductory chapter of my book. And if you like to join Three Hearts meeting, it's Three Hearts Connections Global Group. It's a private group, or just connect with me on Facebook. I also have the Linda Duong author page. We can put the link there. Linda Duong author page. And if you like help with coaching services, it's Link Coaching, LINK, Link Coaching. But my website is good place, or my email is linda@lindaduong.com.au.
Awesome.
Yes.
Wonderful. Linda, thank you so much for being here today and sharing with us, where you came from and what's been unfolding for you today. And I think it's so special and fitting that actually right at the start of today's call, you actually had more good news to just share into, the energy of today's show. So congratulations again.
Thank you. And I apologize again for being late. That call was just too exciting. I had to pick it up.
I totally understand that.
Thank you, everyone, for listening and for joining us and connecting. And thank you for your wonderful comments. And I'll be able to answer more when I get off.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. And thank you to everyone who was with us today, whether you're live or on the replay. Let us know what came up for you as you were in here, listening to what Linda was sharing with us. Again, Paula is saying thank you, and she's given those 3 hearts out there. Awesome.
Oh, thank you.
And remember that every day is always a new day. So even if, I love, Linda, that you were painting that picture of living in a black and white world and then color got added to it and how connection is that piece. And I really love that you mentioned that connection to yourself is first and foremost. I completely agree with that. So I would just simply say, yes, wherever you are today does not have to be where you are tomorrow. And where in your life can you use more connection, starting with who you are, knowing that you're amazing because you are. So yes. With that concludes our show for today. We're going to be back again tomorrow for another Rise and Shine Creating 2020 Vision. And if you haven't already checked out, we do have a visioning and goal setting workshop happening later this week. On Friday is the date that's left open. So Friday, August 28th. If you want to check that out, definitely visit right here on Facebook. And I'll put a link to that in the comments as well. And I'd love to see you there. Have an amazing day, everybody. And I'll see you all again very soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye for now.